All right, all right, all right. Commander Samuel Patterson Jr. here, broadcasting live from Treasure Island, talking about reparations today, talking about Black veterans benefits, and also talking about working with West Africa as an alternative to Trump and Biden uh, coming up with their live programs, because neither one of them are talking about reparations. You will be a fool to run out and go vote for Biden or Trump, and reparations isn't on the table for your family, you, and your grandchildren. This has been talked about many, many times. And we're not just talking about reparations for all the Africans in America who's on that same page. We're talking about globally. France, Spain, Portugal, Europe, where the queen is over there, stealing all the diamonds from West Africa to put on her head and colonize individuals. They need to pay reparations. We Black veterans want to send a shout out to our EO representative, Madame Georgina Osei Yubora, who is handling our international soccer team, which those boys like to come to America, learn how to be an engineer, driving cranes and buses and trains. Excuse me, not trains, but uh, construction equipment, to be an engineer and go back to their homeland, be gainfully employed. On the same token, our international soccer team will come to America to play a championship match. And after that, we'll split the proceeds and we'll have young Black boys in America who want to go into a local out here in California called Local 3. They have all the training facility up there to train these boys how to work these big machines and be an engineer. And we're very happy because we Black vets are into working. Okay, we're into truck driving, being longshoremen, warehousemen, palletizing, using the muscles God gave us so we can be able to take care of ourselves and take care of our family. But once you get that skill, you're good worldwide. You just don't have to sit in one city. You can shop around because you're in demand. And what we want to give a shout out to is our up and coming committee that's working on this podcast program, which we will be giving out kitchen appliances for watching the Black veterans for reparations and the Black veterans for opening up small businesses and things of nature, so we can be able to bond and get more veterans to the table, so we can have a dynamite committee to go to Washington, D.C. to talk to Congress about why are we left out of the veterans equation. Okay, we need veteran representatives that's going to fight for our benefits. Even if we lose it, file an appeal so the Black veteran can be able to get their benefits. Okay, we want to talk about also not giving up your vote unless reparations on the table. And what I mean, not just to study, but for them to be able to, after the election, cut the check. Our brothers and sisters globally have finally woke up. You know what I'm saying? Have finally woke up to saying I was taken and stolen from Africa, brought to this continent where we performed all type of free services and didn't get paid. Okay? Free services and didn't get paid. So it's not just us in America, but our brothers and sisters who suffered in them other countries up under racism and colonialism. Okay? That's what we want to talk about. We don't want to listen to what white America, of those other countries I mentioned, their problems. They created them. They set up their government. They set up their racism and worked hand in hand, because racism is a team sport, whether you believe it or not. Okay, we're going to need to be working with Dr. Claude Anderson, because he's an individual who has a map of the land that could be offered for reparations, and the free scholarships, and low interest loans and grants for us to come up for economic empowerment. Okay, need to make sure we work with him. If you haven't filed for reparations, you need to sign up now with Dr. Claude Anderson. Okay, sign up with him so you can be on board. So when it go down, your family would be included, and your grandchildren would be included. Okay, so it's very important that we don't listen to what white corporate America is talking about right now. Trump, Biden, all of them. His Biden vice president. What for? They already got their money. They sit up and talk about this little funky stimulus check for $1,200, which is going to put more empowerment into their small businesses and things, and other businesses that America is promoting. You know what I'm saying? They're going to make sure that that is taken care of, because their Wall Street is in the dumps, in the toilet right now. Okay, so they need a bailout, and the bailout is to give individuals the money so they can go out and keep the money circulating out there in that game with them. Okay, but we don't need to be talking about a damn stimulus check. We need to be talking about reparations. Reparations. Okay, nothing should take our mind off all the trials and tribulations we went through up under this United States system. Okay, we need to be talking about reparations. We don't need to be talking about stimulus check. It's going to help them anyway. Okay, going to help them anyway. We need to be talking about working with the African Development Bank, the African Import-Export Bank, the Eco Standard Bank in Ghana, and the bank in Nigeria, who want to work with us. Want to talk about buying homes. Want to talk about open up small businesses, okay? Open up small businesses, no problem, because they are a supplier of 15 nations that makes all type of great furniture. This what I have on today is from Sakani Takarati, one of the merchants there. This ring and this watch all come from Sakani Takarati. I'm a merchant there, and we want to be able to expose you to an alternative of working with Trump and Biden coming up, working with your own people. The money looks like us. The credit cards look like us. And like I was telling you before, I was the CEO of the African Sister City program in Oakland, California, Sakandi Takarati. Great city, Sakandi Takarati. And the information that we Black veterans are talking about, our kids going back to school, you shouldn't be trying to get off into that game. We got a lot of young Black going to college right next to these white people who got the virus. Right now, this is the wheat and the tear. The wheat and the tear. God has selected this time to be the wheat and the tear. You can hang around them individuals if you want to and get knocked off by the virus. The rest of us are prayed up. What about you? Okay? About you. We must get out of the box. Don't think about what Biden and Trump's talking about and things of that nature, because whatever you're going to the polls to vote for is for them, not you. It's for them. And so what you need to do is get on your own agenda and talk about reparations for your family, okay? for your family. That's what you need to be talking about, reparations for your family and your grandkids and things of that nature. A lot of you don't know nothing about Africa because you've been so poisoned with trying to get caught up in the rat game in America, how to survive over here, and just put your culture on hold, which truly was ridiculous. Another reason why we should be given reparations because of being stolen from Africa and brought over here for free labor for 500 years. And still today, because we already moved from the cotton fields to the computer fields. That's all we jumped off right now. But we want to send a prayer out for the Punch Bowl individuals in Mississippi that the United States government turned into a concentration camp right after the war. Made them build bridges, towns, and things. And in the Punch Bowl, wherever the brother and sister died, that's where they left them. This is the government, the U.S. government. This is the U.S. government which killed 20,000 of our people. No one's praying for them. Want to go out and pray for everything else. No one's praying for them, for the ones that lost for the individuals that lost their loved ones, and us that lost their loved ones in the Punch Bowl. You can look that up. The Punch Bowl, it was in Mississippi. Okay? It was in Mississippi. And they left 20,000 that were killed. And my cousin from Kansas City, Missouri, Ralph, sent that to me. And I was amazed and shocked because I didn't know that. And I used to teach African history. The Bank of London wants to pay those brothers for reparations. We Black veterans are seriously trying to contact them so we can let them know we are with them 100% on reparations. And the Bank of London is already talking about agreeing to pay them reparations. So we need to get on the bandwagon with them and the other individuals in America that are African, that are serious about reparations. Leave the rest of individuals alone because they not with it. Okay, they don't know the history. They've never been nowhere but in a city for 30, 40 years. Never been nowhere but driving in a circle with their brand new car to work, church, partying, back home. Okay, they ain't went nowhere, just in a circle. We need to work with Dr. Claude Anderson, www.powernomics.com. Those books are flying off the shelf. I'm telling you. You got to get one of those books now, you're going to be in a waiting list. But that's okay because we're waking up to understand, who we are. And we're not slaves for America like we've been all these years, okay? In 1866, the Civil Rights Act was passed for the 14th Amendment. We never got a chance to get that. And let's back up before, around this same time, 1866. And in the early 1900s, the immigrants that came to America was afforded 750 acres of land during the 1800s, okay, and beyond that. This is why when they come over here, they can get liquor stores and have a business, and they have a trade agreement with their country and America, okay? Yeah. With America, and they was able to get 750 acres of land. Well, hell, we were still slaves. 1860 is when the gold rush stopped. Had stopped, and that was the end of it. We were still slaves. We got none of that. All we got was sharecropping. They never wanted to let us go. Right now, today, they still don't want to let us go. They don't want to let us go because of the economic base that we have. And we so stupid, want to run out there talking about vote, vote, vote. You know damn well none of that voting has ever changed since the 60s. You've been around since the 60s, that vote ain't done nothing. Unless it was on like a local level and you had some activists who was really pushing for whatever they needed in their particular area. Okay? Other than that, that vote ain't did nothing. We voted for Obama. He got his ass in there and didn't do nothing as far as making sure our rights were protected. Okay, after we helped put him in office, but he's got his money. He's got his money. His wife got his money. The kids got the money and left us behind. And I'm talking about the masses. I'm not talking about the basketball players, which I'm glad they finally start talking about this injustice of us getting murdered all over the country. But they have to understand, too, they don't have that wealth. They may have got a signing bonus, but they don't have any wealth. All they got is income from, participating and playing. And what we're trying to do is wake them up, because you came from our neighborhood, so you should have been putting back in our neighborhoods. You want to run to the white neighborhoods and do all what you can do and be all you can be what's up in there. They don't want you there. It's just as bad as a lot of Africans in America are talking about. They're an American. You're not an American. They don't want you. But your people in Africa do. You got cousins over there. You got all the minimum resources in there, and a light switch should turn the light bulb up in your head about the diamonds and the oil and the gold and the rubber. All this resources you can turn into money for yourself because you can invest in it. That's what the big companies are. And invest in the clothes in Africa. Invest in the pots and pans and jewelry in Africa. Okay? These people don't want you. The reason why Trump doesn't get any flack is because a lot of them white folks are with him. And I don't blame them. They can stick with their own people. I'm trying to stick with mine. Okay? We're not trying to have whatever's on corporate America and the United States agenda. And the other nations, God has shut them down. Shut them down. Or in the same predicament when it comes to their agenda. Our brothers and sisters, Italy, France, Czechoslovakia, Germany, have their own economic plan too about coming up economically. Okay? Same thing when I'm talking about these individuals that's in the protest with the Black Lives Matter. Okay? We don't need you on the front line. We're on the front line. Our young black boys and girls out there, young men, are out there braving the virus, the guns, the tanks. We don't need you out there with us talking about our issues. We need you in Congress and in the Senate demanding reparations for Africans. That's where we need you at. Okay? We don't need you out there sabotaging the movement. Slipping the CIA, the FBI, individuals who came there to start problems. Brought bombs and things with them. Okay? And the other groups are just sitting up there trying to get their own agenda taken care of by joining the Black Lives Matter movement. I hope all them cops get what's coming to them. But the history of America has shown us that they always let them go. This is why we need our own constitution, police our own neighborhoods up under Dr. Claude Anderson. This constitution doesn't work for us. Okay? It doesn't work for us. In 1862, we were still slaves. America gave away 1 million acres of acres of land to more immigrants. He just gave them land while we were still slaves, okay? Now, to really be fighting for your reparations, you need to talk to your state assembly person in your district. Mine is District 17 out here in San Francisco. You need to talk to your state senator and ask your state senator, is reparations on the table? Ask your state senator. That's why you can't go in the blind around here, voting for what they want. You don't get nothing what you want, okay? They have term limits, 3 2-year terms, in which you have enough time to go up and talk to them about reparations. If they don't have reparations on the table, why not vote for what they want? You need to be talking about kicking their ass out of office because they're not representing all the people. Okay, you know. And when you talk to your health, when you talk to your state assembly person, you can talk about health and human services, education and finance, banking and finance. You can work with the media, public safety, jobs on economic development and the economy, Veterans Affairs, and the Commerce Department. This is working through your state assembly person wherever you at. So we have to get off our ass and make sure that ours is covered. These are the individuals who we're going to be representing us until we get our own constitution. Okay? You need to get off your behind and step to the plate. Just like you got a lot of these individuals still trying to send their kids to school. If your child catches the virus, you'll never know what that child could have been. He or she could have been fantastic in life and did a lot for people, you know. We want the black veterans want you to know the president don't run the United States, the Senate do. That's why I'm talking about the assembly, and you should talk to the Senate. Your senator, there's reparations on the table. Then you can know where they're going, like they've been going since the 60s. I can recall that because I lived that, okay? It doesn't matter who the president is. We African people are stuck in a box. It doesn't make no difference who the president is. We're stuck in a box. So after the election, they'll be going on about doing their international trade, but not right now because the virus got them all locked down. God got them shut down. But this is what they normally do after the election. They're all about their business. They can't do it now because the virus is taken care of because God got the wheat and the tare hooked up right now. The wheat and the tare. Okay? And reparations should be paid to us because in Columbia, Tennessee, in 1946, there was a race riot. The federal government never came out to protect us. I can recall when I was coming up, I seen the Ku Klux Klan have marches, but the police were protecting their rights. They're not protecting our rights. They are jumping on us, sending the CIA and FBI into our demonstrations to take away from the movement, take away from the person who were murdered. Okay, that's what's happening with that because we're still up under the black codes in the box. That's why we got to get up out of there. Get to Dr. Claude Anderson. You sign up with Dr. Claude Anderson for reparations. Look at his packet. I loved it because I was one of the individuals who got off his behind and sued the government for reparations. I knew about I was an African and not this Negro, colored, black, African American that they pretend that we were. Okay. You had in 1835, you had the snow riots. You look that up. Snow riots. Working up under Dr. Claude Anderson and getting a new constitution, it'll be a nation within a nation just like the Indians. And this is just for intelligent Africans who want to go back to their roots and go back who they are, who they are, and work with their own people. We're not talking about the biscuit eaters, the ones that all they want from America is a check. They don't want no wealth. They just want a check. Think they're successful, they made it. Okay? When we had history way for they stole us and brought us here to the United States. It's a mass protest or creating a global movement to address the legacies, colonization, slavery with reparations. A mass protest, okay, on a global scale. The rest of the brothers and sisters are waking up, and you need to get on the page with them because you'll be together with people who are after your own interests, okay, and not talking about voting for this Trump or this Biden issue or Biden vice president who's not going to do a damn thing from us. It's been proven since the 60s. Tell me I'm wrong, okay? The brotherhood that we need to have internationally is proven true because the only thing that stopped them from going where they was going was the boat ride. Okay? And what I mean, like Spain, they didn't come to America. They came to Spain as a slave. I'm talking about Britain. That's where they went as a slave. They didn't come to America. Okay? So the only thing separate us from our brothers and sisters internationally is a boat ride. And you need to understand that. A boat ride is the only thing that, really stopped us. We want to get back and talk about California like the rest of these white people are talking about reparations for us. But California Assembly passed a bill to study. We don't need no more studying. H.R. 40. Been up in Congress for 40 years, and every year they won't pass it. This is why we need our own constitution. And step out of the box. Stop asking them for permission. Keep asking them for this and that. And get away from them. Black Wall Street was working wonderful. And as my research has led me to find out that other cities, just like the Black Wall Street, was economically empowered. They burned them down too. Along with, during the 60s, burning the black churches down. No protection from the federal government. But we continue, please, continue to, please, step up to them and ask them for their acceptance. For our acceptance, for them. All the marches you have seen, something up there by Abraham Lincoln. He hated black people. They're all up in there. And the only thing that came from my perspective, that came out of it was individuals wearing out their shoes. Because you didn't make a move. You didn't get out the box. Still pleading to white people to accept you. You want to force integration on them. You want to force yourself on them. When I was coming up as a boy, I seen those individuals going inside these white establishments and getting their hell beat out of them instead of opening up their own business. Instead of opening up their own business like the rest of the men and women of the world. Okay? Like the rest of them. I filed my case for reparations in 1994. Coming at them, even though God had blessed me with some decent jobs, because I came out of North Oakland, California, where we had great mentors there, had great churches there. That's why the people in North Oakland all prayed up, and we ain't worried about this virus. But it came out of North Oakland, and did some amazing things with a lot of my classmates, which will be on this show, talking about how we took care of our young Black youth in our community, how we make sure we rally together, went down to Sacramento, made a fuss about whatever we needed, and also going to Washington, D.C., making sure we talk to the Congressional Black Congress, which is a bunch of biscuit eaters, okay, to make sure that our community, was taken care of. Another reason why we deserve reparations, Congress had passed a law for the Africans in Chicago and awarded them $5.5 million for police brutality, to be a leading case, as we continue to get away from white America, who continue to step on our human rights and act like we don't have any. They stole a lot of Black inventions. The stoplight revolutionized the world. Granulated sugar revolutionized the world because they was using molasses before that time. The brother invented a machine that separated the sugar from the powder that gave that granulated effect. We live out here in San Francisco. There's a public transportation mechanism out here called BART. And what pushes BART around is the third rail. And Granville T. Woods was the one who invented the third rail, revolutionized the world as far as transportation. Dr. Drew, he made sure that the open heart transplant was successful. And we had the Peanut Man. He had 350 ways of working with a peanut. We got the brother who invented the washer and dryer. We have the sister who invented the hot comb. So a lot of inventions that we didn't get paid for, okay? A lot of inventions we didn't get paid for. This is why another reason why we need our reparations, okay? I got to show it because a lot of this program is for people who are doing something, and you see here. And I'm at the table with the big boys trying to make sure that we get our reparations. We got to work with Dr. Claude Anderson, www.powernomics.com. Sign up for reparations. Sign up for reparations for your family. Don't then run to the polls and give them your vote and it's nothing for you. That's ignorant. That's very ignorant. Nothing for you. Okay? 1868, the Freedmen's Bureau for Congress passed sharecropping. This 1868, Freedmen's Bureau. And you had to work for the massa. They never wanted to let us go. They never wanted to let us go. We are the economic base for their survival. We are the labor for their survival. But the virus is taking care of this now for us. You ain't got to run back to massa. Don't worry about that damn stimulus check. They're going to give it to you. They're going to give it to you. If not, think about an alternative of getting out the box to work with people who look like you, who are interested in working with you. My trips to Africa for 9 times, proving that as I talk to many individuals of importance and chiefs who really want us to be able to work together. Just as soon as my technicians get together, we're going to make sure that we show some of this footage of our brothers and sisters in Africa who wants to be able to work with us. And you'll see you have a lot in common. plus, like I said, some of your relatives are there, and the great entrepreneurship spirit that our people have in order to be very successful, economically. Yes, yes. I wanted to show you, as I was the CEO from Oakland, California, for Sakani Takarati, some pictures and things that I took when I was over there. This is the nurse's flat. And nurse's flat is where all the nurses learn how to be trained to be nurses, and they're housed there. They're housed there until they finish school. I went to Ghana's university and took this picture. Another picture of Ghana's university. And another picture of Ghana's university. This is one of the main ladies that was working with the African Sister City program. Okay. This is her two assistants. Look how beautiful it is in Ghana. They work with her with the university. So here's some pictures of the university, which were dancers, and they helped us raise money so we could first talk about our culture, understand our culture and how deep and rooted it is, and went way back before we came to America. Then we moved towards economics because we got to understanding what Ghana had. But they're successful, and now they're messing with the podcast. But we're gonna continue to push this information about West Africa. And like I said, these are a couple of the brothers who went to the university at that particular time. This is one of the major seamstresses who we have a contract with. She can really sew. This outfit she has on, she sewed that herself. Here's a picture of me with my fellas. I was grinding up some pepper back in the day. I want to show you a picture of what the average home looks like in Ghana. You see that great big old gate? They make those. I went to the plant to see how they were making those for people's homes. They don't have any automatic electronics to open that gate, but they have the young boys around the neighborhood open that gate, and which gives them employment. Now, this picture I want to show you is a slave castle. It's a museum now. You can see the boats in the background, in which a lot of them go fishing and make a good living. But there were a couple of ladies who took me to the slave castle so that we could get a shot of it. That castle is where they kept you until a boat came and took you to other parts of the world. Now, inside there, when I got to Ghana, there was a man at this door. And they call that door the door of no return. Because once you went out that door, no one never saw you again. And he was there, he was there with a candle praying for all the people who went through the door. And that's what we need for our culture and what happened to us through our Holocaust is a lot of praying. Just like the people who was at the bottom of the boats. Reparations should be paid for the inhumane treatment that we suffered at the bottom of the boat coming here. Okay? Coming here. And back on the international tip, the only thing is different from the rest of the Africans in the world is the boat trip. That's the only thing different, okay? Now, we've been working with Africa for a while. I want to show you up under the African Growth and Development Act, and I hope you can see where this was held. It was held at the Claremont Hotel, which is a nice hotel in Oakland, about the African Growth and Opportunity Conference that we had. This is where you get a chance to talk to the bank. This is where you can set up a trade agreement. This is where when you get your passport, get off your ass and go talk about other than Biden and Trump after this virus, that you'll be able to engage in some economic empowerment with your own people. You know, at the conference we had the U.S. Export Bank. Okay, you don't know nothing about that because you're too busy running around and trying to get a low-paying job from corporate America. U.S. Agency for International Development. Now, these offices were open because I was there when we were in Jack London Square, where they met with all the trade people around the world. Okay? The U.S. Small Business Administration, okay, was at the conference. The California Trade and Commerce Agency, Corporate Council on Africa, Bay Area World Trade Center was moved down to Sacramento. Okay? And we had a bunch of great guest speakers that came from other countries and said, well, we've been working with the Center for International Trade and Development for a while, and it's been working for us. And it was our turn, but then 9/11 came up and stopped everything what we were doing, and which also showed you how racist the Democrats and Republicans are, but not trying to make sure that we was economically sound, but to run to the polls and vote for them. Vote for them for what? You're not doing anything. I've been there around consciously with cognitive development since the 60s. And you ain't done nothing. We've been in our hood making sure that everything was taken care of in North Oakland, California. And we met some other individuals that were still striving in their neighborhoods to make them great, but still leading back to Massa, leading back to working for him, not working for yourself. If you can make money for the company and they're paying you a check, you can make money for yourself. It's just an alternative for getting out the box, getting away from these low wages. Okay. Want to show you that we've been working on the case. You see this article? Oakland works with Africa. Everything was fine till 9/11. Everything was fine till 9/11. Mr. Townsend and I, we sent over $100,000 worth of medical supplies to Liberia. That's where the slaves went back to after slavery. After slavery, okay? Mr. Townsend and I was working out of Vallejo, California, with the United Nations on our issues. Letting our people know we want to work with you. We working with you. We're not listening to all that ignorant talk that the biscuit eaters around America America is talking about how bad Africa is. We know because we went there. We know because we went there and found out all about the lies they were telling. All about the lies they were telling. Here you can see 1998. That's how long we've been working with Africa, and that's why we know what we're talking about. Okay? When we found out that Solano County was mistreating the Liberians who had to leave their country because of a war, because of their diamonds. This is where the Africans went back after slavery. They got diamonds, and the white nations there that wanted the diamonds set up and gave some rebels, some ammunition and guns to take down the established government, so that what they could do is continue to rip them off and put the puppet people in place. Okay, put the puppet people in place. It was a shame because of the fact a lot of our people went back to Africa to try to, get into the game and straighten things out, as far as getting away from white colonialism and getting away from thinking like he was a white person. Okay, so while we were taking care of City Hall, the black farmers gave us 50 acres of land for the refugees from Liberia to go ahead and learn animal husbandry, learn how to be great seamsters and tailors, computer repair, farming, animal husbandry, and we made the papers. Sorry, wrong one. Wow. But we made the papers showing that the black farmers gave us the 50 acres of land. I guess it's on the back of one of these. The 50 acres of land. Oh, here it is. Gave us the 50 acres of land so the Liberians could be able to learn and continue their trade, because once the war was over, they was going to go back home and reestablish themselves. And here you can see, I'm showing you these documents because I'm trying to show you how long we've been in the game by working with our own people. Here's and this is 1997 from Oakland City Hall. Show you how long we've been working with Africa. Okay. When I was there, I was able to talk to our brothers and sisters over there who own their own diamond rubber companies. They own their own jewelry companies. Okay? Be a great investment for you. Once God get through taking care of these evil people with the virus, get you a passport, go over there and talk to your people and negotiate a deal, import and export with a trade agreement like everybody else in the world, okay? Ghana has fantastic pots. Fantastic pots. And all type of other equipment. Not equipment, products. Products that you could sell in a store here in America and be quite, very, very, very successful. Okay, we want to go back over reparations. Don't vote unless reparations is on the table. Talk to your senator. See if reparations is on the table. Or you're going to go through another 4 years of Trump or Biden. It doesn't make any difference because we're in the box. We're not coming out the box unless we're going to buy something for them. We're not coming out the box unless we buy something from them or they want our labor. When you can turn that around, work with the African Development Bank, work with when God gets through with this virus, knocking out these evil people, because he's gonna knock them out. It's time for the wheat and the tear. Wheat and tear right now. You know what I'm saying? Us individuals from North Oakland, we got the religious base. We know what time it is. We know what time it is. America is done. The rest of the world is done. Talking about they got to find the virus. And let me get talking about that, about the virus. I stay in San Francisco, California, where we have a large population of Black in the Fillmore district, Hunters Point district, Oakland, California, Vallejo, California. These are all Black cities. Richmond, California, all Black cities. We're not dropping off dying like flies, like the news is lying about. The news is lying, talking about we dropping like flies. That wouldn't be the case because there would be so much social media about it. There would be some activists in our communities standing up for us not having breathing apparatus or not having the proper care. No, we're not dying like that. We're not running to the beaches and running with these white folks to catch the virus. We're not out here doing that. But my reason for bringing that up is that it seems they want us to be the first ones to take the antidote. I ain't taking nothing. I can remember another reason why we need reparations, the Tuskegee experiment, giving all the Black men syphilis and never gave them the cure. 1932, and it stretched to 1972. Never gave them the virus. And you had Black people helping them. That's the same thing when you got these biscuit eaters. All they want is a job to get a check to act like they're successful in the white man's world. Okay? That's what they acted like. They successful. My thing is, when you check out, you ain't taking none of that crap with you. And it's a bunch of material things anyway, you know, God's a jealous God. So all that material stuff, he's not into all that because he made it all. Okay? These biscuit eaters are trying to make sure that we run to the motherfucker doctor and get the antidote shot. Okay? And we're not the ones that's really dying unless you with these white people connected by jobs or contracts and you're still meeting with them. Yeah, a lot of them are dying because this is the time of the wheat and the tear. The wheat and the tear. Check that out. Running around here, want to give up your vote for nothing. That's how ignorant you are. From the 60s, ain't nothing changed. All type of friends all across this nation where we didn't fought for human rights. We wasn't with that civil rights crap. For human rights and an opportunity to take care of our children and take care of leaving our grandchildren some money so that they could be able to be successful in life and won't have it hard, won't be having it hard, and won't be struggling real hard. Okay? Okay? You be a fool to run out there and give up your vote unless reparations is not on the table. Talk to your senator. I told you, the president don't run the United States. It's the Senate. That's who got the checks hung up for your $1,200. The Senate. Okay? What you need to do is make sure you contact that senator and ask them his reparations on the table. Other than that, you're just going to be voting for what they talk about. Whoever gets in, they said, well, we're going to make sure everything you guys been talking about during the election is taken care of. And at the end of the year, they'll start talking about what we put on the table. We need to talk about reparations now. Reparations now. Reparations. Okay? Well, we need to talk about reparations, not what they want to be talking about. It's foolish. Very damn foolish to make sure that we kowtow to them and make sure whatever they want comes true. But at this particular time, God got the virus out here running. And God's going to make it hard for you Africans to go back to these little petty jobs. Start thinking about yourselves. Start thinking about your family. Start thinking about the future, about how God want to bless you for being such a righteous person. You got all these evil people out here. At the midnight out here in California, boy, it's crazy. You know, it's crazy. You know, as far as them doing criminal acts and not taking care of staying clear of, of the virus. It's not an accident the virus is down here. I don't believe about no China. Sit up here and let something let something get out of their country and go global. No, I don't believe none of all that. Because of the fact I see how God has shut the world down. Not just America, the whole world shut it down. They're trying to force individuals to go back to work because all the economies are in the toilet. They want you to risk your life going to work when the virus is out there. They ain't got no plan. They have no plan whatsoever to take care of your children and you. All they want you to do in all the nations is go back to work. Sit down off your ass and come up with an alternative to get out the box. As long as you're in the box, they know that where they can contact you if they need you for purchasing products. They know you at. If they want you for your labor, they know what you're at. They know where you're at. They know exactly where you're at in that box. Let's go to the box and get what we need. But you can come out the box. There's an alternative to Biden and Trump that's working with your own people. The credit card looks like you. The money looks like you. And they've been doing business, for a long time. Plus, it's the richest planet on the planet. It is the richest continent on the planet. Which a smart individual could make a ton of money. You could be an Oprah. You could be a Kanye West, working with your own people. Because all what Africa got, the world needs to survive. Let me say that again. All what Africa got, the world needs it to survive. The rubber, the oil, cocoa. The world needs that to survive. Get you on an alternative than Trump and Biden. Biden put so many of us in jail, it's ridiculous. Him, vice president. And that's going to continue to go on after the election for whoever wins. We need to concentrate on getting our own constitution up under Dr. Claude Anderson. Look at his economic plan for reparations. And while we're waiting on reparations, we can work with our own people. I went to plenty of meetings at Jack London Square where the economic people from different countries came, had lunch, professional layout, nice rooms, beautiful lunch to talk about economic empowerment for those countries. Like I said, we were on the table, but 9/11 knocked us out. And we've been slowly trying to get back into the groove of talking about working with our own people and not be stuck in the box. Not to be stuck in the box. Africa is such a beautiful experience. When I went over there, I just was thrilled that our people had the intelligence to do what they were doing. Our people had great shops they had been trading with. I can tell you that when I was in Accra, that's the capital of Ghana, there was a woman who had just a card table. And she was selling bread and eggs and things of that nature. And I told you I went back every year. So when I went back the following year, this woman had a building. I was amazed. But her dedication for working, being a good entrepreneur, being fair with her customers, she went back, she had a great big building that she was selling her eggs, and she made her own bread and other items that was together. Other items that she had for sale was together. And I really enjoyed watching this entrepreneur spring up from a card table. Everybody had a job over there, even the children. Okay, everybody had a job because they were selling something. They was working among one another, and the Ghanaian dollar stayed in that neighborhood to the last possible time before it left. But a lot of people got to enjoy the money that currency did as it went around Ghana before it left out of Ghana. We want to make sure that we stay on tune about not falling for these tricks for the Republican and Democratic Party. Since the 60s, I've seen them do the same old thing with all these presidents, Nixon, Reagan, the Bushes, the same game is to keep us in the box, make sure we're just the labor force, and make sure that we spend money with them. Okay? Spend money with them to keep their wheel turning so they can be able to pay their loans overseas with the trade agreements that they got with these individuals. But God said it down. You can try to go back if you want to. You can hang around these individuals with the virus if you want to. You're going to be checking out as well, with them. For us in North Oakland, we prayed up, baby. What about you? We prayed up. We know God is here. As a matter of fact, where's the Pope? He's still hiding? Yeah. All you Christians out there supposed to be following the Pope. Where's the Pope? Where's the Pope? Pope hiding somewhere. Because he knows none of his prayers will meet Jesus, and none of his prayers will go up and be heard by the Lord. They've been a fake all the time, just like these black pastors who really don't need no church to be preaching. Jesus isn't preaching no church. But right now, the black pastors in America can't pass out no bread because they pantries pulled and shot to the curb. They can't be able to do nothing but sit on their behind and try to wait for you to bring them some money. None of their prayers going to be heard by the Lord either, because they've been doing some rotten things up in there in them churches. And like I read before when I was in Bible study about them false prophets, we're going to be trying to come to you with SPOA, Mr. Mr. Presley, Mr. Priestley, I'm sorry. Mr. Priestley has a security business, been had it for 40 years. He's training people. They've been training and staying gainfully working, uh, which they're going to be signing up, have been signing up to get into uh, their own home. A lot of these individuals came from being locked up, but he's helped straighten them out, put a good uniform on them. And they're not going to have to be you wouldn't have to be a security guard all your life. It's just something that keeps some economic empowerment in your pocket. Okay? Economic empowerment in your pocket. So we're going to try to have him on the next show. And he'll be able to explain to you about how successful he's been and by stepping outside the box. It's all about you creating your own positions and jobs, stepping outside the box. We have a great opportunity to work with Africa. We have a great opportunity to talk about economic empowerment for ourselves and for our children in the future, and reparations. Still have that on the table. And like I said, it's global now. It's not just for the Africans in America. No. We can't forget about our young sisters and brothers over in Haiti, Cuba. There's a boat stop that stopped there for them, okay? And on the other side of the world, we all have to stick together. We Black veterans are desperately trying to find the link of hooking up with those brothers in London and over in Spain, over in Britain, okay, about reparations. So until I see you again, this is Commander Samuel Patterson Jr., who will always be fighting for veterans, always fighting for reparations, and always fighting for the right to work with my own people. I'll talk to you later. Oh, wait 1 minute. Yeah. Right. So, like I said, I wanted to put this on before the show, but I was so excited about the podcast and forgot about it. But I want to let you know, I'm on the side of these young Black youth that's out here fighting 100% to change America and get us out of the box. We must get out the box, okay? We must get out the box. Work with our own people. Fight hard for reparations. And if you haven't signed up for reparations, you need to go to Dr. Claude Anderson's site and sign up. You need to sign up for you, your children, and the future. Be able to work with our own people. This is Commander Samuel Patterson Jr., live from Treasure Island in San Francisco, California, signing off. Till next time.